The U.S. has joined an international operation to airdrop desperately needed supplies into Gaza. The Pentagon says 3 Air Force planes carried out the first drop of more than 35,000 meals. The Biden administration says Israel supports its intervention to bolster existing efforts by Jordan and other nations. The UN is warning that famine in Gaza is almost inevitable unless aid deliveries increase significantly. Our next report contains images that some viewers might find distressing.
Consoling each other. The boys have survived an Israeli airstrike in central Gaza. Many others did not. But the fighting in the Gaza Strip isn't the only danger Palestinians face. Disease and famine have become a major threat. Children are most at risk. Starvation has now taken the lives of several children.
So the official records yesterday or this morning said there was a 10th child officially registered in a hospital as having starved to death. A very sad threshold, similar sad as the 30,000 deaths we reached all over Gaza. The unofficial numbers can unfortunately be expected to be higher.
And the toll is climbing. Qatari network Al Jazeera broadcast this footage from Gaza City on Friday, when scores of Palestinians were killed as they surrounded an aid convoy. The Hamas-run health ministry and survivors accused the Israeli army of opening fire on the crowd. Israel said limited shots were fired near the aid convoy, but insisted that most of the dead were trampled or run over by the aid trucks. A UN team has visited Al-Shifa Hospital on Friday. It reported having seen a large number of gunshot victims. The incident has amplified the demand for more aid to be delivered without delay. Neighboring Egypt and Jordan recently airdropped essential items in Gaza. Now, the US says it will deliver humanitarian aid via parachute, while President Joe Biden pushes Israel to improve other routes.
We're going to insist that Israel facilitate more trucks and more routes to get more and more people the help they need. No excuses, because the truth is, aid flowing to Gaza is nowhere nearly enough. Now, it's nowhere nearly enough. Innocent lives are on the line, and children's lives are on the line. And we won't stand by and let until we get more aid in there.
Biden has also signaled a ceasefire deal between Hamas and Israel could be reached soon, which many here hope would be a lifeline amid destruction and loss.
Let's bring in Mike Martin. He's a War Studies Senior Fellow at King's College London and also a former British Army officer. Welcome to DW. So as we just heard, President Biden, says that the U.S. military is going to airdrop supplies into Gaza, similar to how Jordan, France, and other countries have done. Can you explain to us how exactly something like this would work? Will there be coordination with the Israeli military? Do they do it independently? What's involved?
So it is, as you would imagine, you fly a plane and then you push supplies out the back. But what you need is an area on the ground that has been at least cleared or secured. So I'd imagine the US is going to be trying to push the aid out near the coast so it can fly in over the sea, and so that it's not flying over Gaza, which is obviously a war zone. But then you need a partner on the ground, either the Israelis or perhaps one of the aid agencies who have in some way designated an area that this aid can land in. It's actually very, very difficult to do when it's not your own people on the ground securing the landing zone for your planes.
So you mentioned some of the challenges that this, of course, is still an active war zone and you need people on the ground. So is this even going to help if there isn't some sort of security on the ground in Gaza as these aid packages are pushed out of the plane, as you described?
Well, I think actually you've hit the nail on the head. Is this going to be effective? A plane, so a Hercules plane, which is one of the two options that the US military has, can carry about 20 tons worth of supplies. A shipping container that goes on the back of a truck is 30 tons. So if you've got a 10 truck convoy or a 20 truck convoy, that's 300 tons or 600 tons. So, an order of magnitude bigger. So really what I think we need to ask ourselves is this just for show? You can only drop food. Medicines are quite difficult because they get broken. Water you can't drop. And as we've discussed, the amounts that you can actually deliver are very difficult. And we've already spoken about the deconfliction problems. So I think that, if we're cynical, we could argue that this is of a small impact on the overall scale of the problem. And really, I know the US is not getting much joy from the Israelis, but really that is the route to opening up the humanitarian problem, is for the Israelis to allow more trucks into Gaza.
That was Mike Martin with the King's College London. Many thanks indeed for your insights.
Thank you.